That's the Crystal Palace manager, Oliver Glasner, speaking ahead of the big kick-off. I guess the point he makes there, Darren Ambrose, is all about not underestimating Larnaca.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of those that if you do underestimate a team, we've just seen with Aston Villa, you could lose the game. Go ahead Eagles turning them over. So we've seen that, but there certainly won't be any complacency in that dressing room from the manager, from the staff and from the players. They will come out. It'll be professional performance. I'm sure of it. I did say to you, didn't I, before, that I've just got a feeling they do give up chances. I've got a feeling that Larnaca might get on the score sheet today. Hopefully they don't, but if Palace can go out and perform how we know they can, should be a real comfortable evening.
And we are being treated to pyrotechnics and a pre-match light show as we await the arrival of the two sets of players. There's a huge banner that's just been draped across the front of the Holmesdale Road end to our right. It reads, "We are the boys who will win your little game." Well, Palace have won a few big games in recent months. The FA Cup final, the Community Shield, their first European game in the league phase against Dynamo Kyiv last time out, and now they're looking to put 3 points on the board on this historic night at Selhurst. The atmosphere, Darren Ambrose, is positively crackling.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. We knew it was going to be Selhurst Park under the lights midweek in their first European proper game. It's just phenomenal. I'm buzzing to be here. I'm privileged. I'm delighted for my former club to be in this tournament and with a huge chance of winning it. I just want to see them go out and perform as well on the pitch.
A reminder, this game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. The Palace subs are just walking across the touchline, ready to take their seats in the dugout. And that familiar tune of Glad All Over will tell you the Palace starting 11 are about to emerge to a rapturous reception. It really is a wonderful atmosphere as Crystal Palace greet their heroes in blue and red. What would you give, Darren, to be out there tonight amongst the action?
More than you can imagine, Cookie, more than you can imagine. Absolutely phenomenal. I'd have loved to have been involved in this. I got to the UEFA Cup semi-final myself for Newcastle, and it's huge. Every single night in Europe is huge. Took it for granted a little bit as a player. Just hope these players don't take it for granted and enjoy every single moment of this.
Yeah, brilliant, colourful scene away to our right in that Holmesdale Road end. All the Crystal Palace fans, the ultras amongst them, of course, have been given red, white and blue placards to hold above their heads. There's a giant tifo as well.
Amazing.
A sort of old school television set with a map and arrows pointing from London to Leipzig. The German city will be the host venue for the Conference League final as Oliver Glasner salutes the Palace fans down below us. The home side looking to take another step closer to that final, and of course in Oliver Glasner they have a manager who knows exactly what it takes to win European silverware.
Absolutely, and I'm sure he certainly can deliver that once again. He's already delivered an FA Cup. Did anyone believe that? He certainly did. The Palace players certainly did. He's delivered the Community Shield. Did they believe that? He did, and the Palace players did. Can he deliver the Europa Conference? He will certainly believe, and so will the Palace players.
And they will certainly believe that they are more than capable of putting this Larnaca side to the sword. Larnaca themselves tasted cup success in their homeland last season, winning the Cypriot Cup. In fact, their goalkeeper tonight, Zlatan Alimirovic, saved not one but two penalties in the cup final. So similarities with him and Dean Henderson at the other end.
Yeah, but I think one's going to be more busy than the other this evening. I think, as I said, Dean Henderson, whenever called upon, does a fantastic job. He's going to need to today because they won't get many chances, but they're going to get one or two, and we need him on top form.
Just a quick word on the changes that he has made. Obviously, JD Combo's not played a lot of football since arriving from Toulouse in the summer for £20 million, so a chance for him to impress. Will Hughes, someone who's been very much part of the Palace journey, is there a little bit of sentiment in his selection this evening?
Yeah, I think so. He was selecting the first one, wasn't he? Got injured, but he's back in the team today. He's like an unsung hero here. He always gives it his all, 100% every single match. And yeah, Convo, looking forward to seeing him. Got his opportunity. Oliver Glasner feels this is the time that he can give him this opportunity, and I hope he takes it, because they need a strong squad going into the next few games they've got.
The two captains, Mark Gay and Milicevic, the Bosnian centre-back for Larnaca, just exchanging handshakes and pennants pre-match. Mark Gay not at his best here against Bournemouth at the weekend. He'll want to put in a much more solid performance this evening.
Yeah, of course. You can have those games, can't you? But he's been tremendous for the years he's been at this football club. Obviously, it's come out he's not going to sign his new contract. He's going to leave the club. No one will hold that against him. He deserves it. He's been a fantastic servant, a brilliant captain, but he'll want to leave on a high, that's for sure.
Yeah, more speculation in Germany this evening that Bayern Munich are looking to prize Gay away from Selhurst Park, maybe as early as the January transfer window. Certainly he has big club suitors all around Europe and in the Premier League. But for tonight, like the rest of his Palace teammates and the hordes who have crammed into this famous old arena, Gay's focus very much on putting 3 Conference League points on the board, building on what they did against Dynamo Kyiv in their first game in the competition. And after a pre-match huddle midway inside their own half, it will be Crystal Palace to get us underway on this historic night in South London, from near bankruptcy just 15 years ago via last season's incredible FA Cup triumph. These home fans are about to witness another piece of history as Palace kick off their first ever home game in a major European competition. And straight away Dean Henderson launches the ball long upfield. It's headed on by Jean-Philippe Mateta and cleared back into the Palace half. I guess this will set the tone, Darren, won't it? An evening when Palace are expected to dominate possession, which is not always the case in the Premier League.
No, of course, but they will tonight, and I think they need a fast start. They'll be looking to get a goal or two up in the first 15-20 minutes, just to ease the tie, and then they can just relax and see this game out. But as I said, don't take nothing for granted. This isn't a given, but if they perform as we know they can, then it should be an easy victory.
Larnaca, nicknamed the Green and Yellows, and you can see why. They're bold yellow and green striped jerseys, green shorts and yellow socks, shooting from left to right in this first half, and the ball is punted forward to Rajad Bajacic, the Bosnian international, amongst the goal scorers. They beat RZ 4-0 in their opening game, but he is quickly dispossessed on the edge of the Palace penalty area. Could be quite a lonely night for the Larnaca number 11, as the Palace fans continue to make themselves heard here on Talksport 2. They're underway on Talksport. Sean Dyche's first game in charge of Nottingham Forest. Not an easy one at home to Porto in the Europa League. A reminder, your best way to swipe between the two commentaries is by downloading the Talksport app. Already tonight here on Talksport 2, you've heard Aston Villa beaten away from home in the Netherlands by Go Ahead Eagles by 2-1. And that just shows you can't take any team lightly in a European match. What
I will say, Crookie, me and producer Sal was waiting to come up to our position, and we see the team, Larnaca team, come approach us, and they're huge. Most of them are really physically massive, so you can see what they're going to try. Get it upfield to Bajic, who's huge up front as well, and see if they can just disrupt Crystal Palace.
Here is Jeremy Pino cutting in from the left-hand side, plays the ball to the halfway line. And Convo rolls it back to Maxence Lacroix at the heart of that three-man Palace defensive lineup. And the blonde hair of Will Hughes just side-foots the pass to Jefferson Lerma. 3 minutes gone, 0-0 here. It's not just the Palace fans who are whipping up the atmosphere tonight. The travelling Cypriot supporters are in good voice, as well as they were actually when I left my hotel in London Bridge earlier. They'd taken over the sports bar that is regularly frequented by Talksport members, banging their drums. And
but he was fuming.
I wasn't getting a pint of Guinness in there tonight. It was quite the spectacle. And they're enjoying a good spell of possession here, actually, Larnaca, which is their modus operandi. They are a team who like to dominate the ball, as it's won back by JD Convo. And now Maxence Lacroix plays it into midfield and Jefferson Lerma. Slow tempo, Darren Ambrose, in the early exchanges.
Yeah, it is. I thought they would come out fast and take it to Larnaca, but they've not really. They're both trying to get a gauge of each other, both having some good periods of possession, as just said. AEK Larnaca had a little bit there. They keep going upfield quite direct to Mateta. Oh, he's winning everything, by the way, as well. So it seems like this could be an evenly matched game in terms of possession.
Yeah, that's about the third time that Dean Henderson has launched the ball from the edge of his own penalty area up to Mateta, and as Darren has already articulated, he's won every header. It's a free kick here for Palace for a push in the back from Perry Pons, one of a number of Spanish players in this Larnaca side. Just a bit too overzealous there on Ismail Assar. And then Gay finds Jeremy Pino midway inside the Larnaca half. So good Pino with the ball at his feet. Now Gay out to the left-hand side, and Tyreek Mitchell making his 200th Crystal Palace appearance this evening. And they've been forced all the way back inside their own half, where Will Hughes is clipped from behind, so it's going to be another free kick for Palace. Hughes in a hurry to take it. Got involved in a bit of pushing and shoving there with Marcus Roden, the Swedish international midfielder for Larnaca. 5 minutes played here, 0-0. On another busy night of European action across the Talksport network. Now Mark Gay is being manhandled by Roden, and it's going to be another Crystal Palace free kick. It was Lerma, in fact, who was having his shirt pulled. They're not afraid to get down and dirty, Larnaca.
I think this is the way they're trying to play it. This is a game plan for them. Get into Crystal Palace, mess them up a little bit, see what they're about, and they can definitely handle that.
Will Hughes has got a bit of space midway inside the Larnaca half. It's an opportunity for a shot from the edge of the penalty area. Instead, Jefferson Lerma picks it up 10 yards outside that 18-yard box. It's all a bit congested in the centre of the pitch. I wonder, I think it was Daniel Munoz, was it, coming in from the right? Could he have got shot away?
Yeah, I just felt that. He cut in onto his left foot, didn't he? For me, Daniel Munoz, one of the best attacking right-backs we see in the Premier League. He's got so much energy getting forward. He's got a great goal, didn't he, against Dynamo Kyiv. So I just felt that he could just unleash with his left foot. Decided to just play it on. But watch Daniel Munoz down the right. He will definitely get forward.
Palace 0, Larnaca 0 in the Conference League earlier tonight in the Europa League. A heavy defeat for Danny Röhl in his first game as Rangers manager. They lost 3-0 away from home against Brann of Norway. Villa also beaten in the Europa League as Ismail Assar comes forward into the Larnaca penalty area, links up well with Munoz on that right hand side. Again, he just delayed putting the ball into the box, Munoz, and it's quickly closed down by Eric Sabarit. Now it's back with Maxence Lacroix inside the centre circle. Oliver Glasner out on the edge of his technical area, looking to orchestrate proceedings, just looking a little bit frustrated as the pass up to Jean-Philippe Mateta goes all the way through to Alimirovic, the Larnaca keeper.
Yeah, and the Larnaca coach, Idiakis, he's out there applauding his team. They're working extremely hard in these opening few minutes of the match. They're being made to work hard as well. Can they sustain that the whole match?
Well, the visiting coach is no stranger to European glory himself, as Munoz crosses into the penalty area over the head of Mateta. Sarr could have kept the ball alive, but opts to let it trickle behind for the first corner of the evening. Emmanuel Idiakis, Oliver Glasner's opposite number tonight, was part of the Villarreal coaching staff when Unai Emery led them to Europa League glory against Manchester United in that never-ending penalty shootout a few seasons ago. Darren Ambrose has already mentioned the height of many of this Larnaca team. Their aerial ability is about to be tested with a corner to be swept in from the right-hand side. The referee from Poland, Damian Koz, is just having a word with Maxence Lacroix and Milicevic, the Larnaca defender. It's Will Hughes who belatedly will whip in the first corner of the evening. Left footed from the right-hand side, and that flicked out off a Larnaca head. So it's going to be a corner from the near side this time. That was well defended by Valentin Robert, once of Sunderland, played 10 Premier League games for the Black Cats.
What I did notice there, though, they've got Gustavo Ledes, one of the smallest players for them, marking Combo, who's absolutely huge for Palace, and they had no one marking Ismail Assar.
Another corner, left-hand side this time. Palace building pressure in the early exchanges at Selhurst Park. 0-0 the score. Deep one towards the far post and nodded down. And it's cleared away pretty much from the goal line. Mateta was up there. The referee, I think, has spotted a foul anyway. Mateta maybe impeding the goalkeeper, Alimirovic. It was a deep delivery to the far post. Mark Gay with a header down, and actually it was handball by Mateta in front of the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it was. It was headed down. It was a lovely header from Mark Gay, but it just hit his own player, Ismail Assar. It may have been creeping into the far corner if it could get past the defender. And as it bounced up, Mateta tried to punch it in the goal. Not sure he'd get away with that one.
It's the voice of Darren Ambrose, former Palace midfielder, as Roden puts a dangerous looking ball into the penalty area, and it had to be smuggled behind by Daniel Munoz. Well, that was a rapid break from Larnaca. Roden down the right hand side.
Just caught Combo out, didn't he?
He did. He was seizing on a bit of hesitancy, looking for Bajicic with a cross, and Munoz had to be there to turn it behind for a first Larnaca corner of the night.
Yeah, there's that energy I spoke about, covering Daniel Munoz, otherwise the player at the back post was there for a tap-in.
Roden steps away from the corner. It's whipped in towards the 6-yard box, headed out to the edge of the penalty area, put back in. It's not away yet, as the shot in the end is fired in tamely by Gustavo, straight into the arms of Dean Henderson, who wastes no time in bowling the ball out to the right-hand side, and Convo in the orange boots.
Just hesitant, weren't he, Combo on the ball right in front of us. It was up from the corner and they went on the counter-attack. Larnaca, and he just got caught out. Wasn't aware that there was a player shutting him down.
Palace looking to make progress down their right-hand side with Ismail Assar. Ball is out for a throw-in. It's a Palace ball. Now Will Hughes with a chance to come forward. He's having a shirt tug, but stays on his feet. Hughes now Gay midway inside the Larnaca half, away 2 hour left. Palace in their red and blue striped jerseys, blue shorts and blue socks. Will Hughes playing an exchange of passes with Convo, and then Lerma under pressure just ushers it out to his left, and Gay, who's spent more time inside the Larnaca half than his own so far tonight, floats a ball in towards Munoz. Munoz heads it down, but he was impeding the defender, and it's going to be a Larnaca free kick. It stays 0-0.
Yeah, I did think that was a foul. Daniel Munoz getting forward, as we said, always does. I think it was gnarly at the back post. Done really well just to get in front of him. May have crept offside, Daniel Munoz. Good ball from Mark Gay. Just pushed him in the back, Daniel Munoz. But again, he's the threat going forward.
Celtic 0, Sturm Graz 0. Early on at Parkhead in the Europa League. Same score over on Talksport right now. Forest against Porto is goalless. Earlier tonight, defeats for both Rangers and Aston Villa in the Europa League. Palace looking to make it 2 wins from 2 in their Conference League campaign, up against Larnaca side, currently 5th in Cyprus. They have only lost 2 of their last 8 matches in all competitions. They've got a player down injured here, so we have got a stoppage in play just to disrupt the tempo.
Some distress from his teammates as well, calling the physios on as quick as they can. Looks to be clutching his chest, I think.
Just watching a replay now. It looks innocuous enough. More of the coming together than anything else with JD Combo, the Palace player, involved.
Yeah, it's not his chest, it's his knee. They're testing his knee. But yeah, he looks in a lot of pain. over the far side, right in front of the Larnaca supporters.
I think it's Yersin Chakon, the Venezuelan international, picked out by some of the Cypriot journalists I was talking to as a potential danger man tonight. He's making his 50th Larnaca appearance, but they are ready as substitute down below us in the front row of the press gantry at Selhurst Park. More live football, by the way, coming your way on Talksport tomorrow night. Big game down at the bottom of the Premier League. Leeds taking on West Ham on Saturday. 8 o'clock kickoff. Liverpool go to the G-Tech to take on Keith Andrews' Brentford. Before that, we'll have the usual around the grounds goal service. Adrian Durham basing himself at Stamford Bridge as Chelsea take on Sunderland in the Premier League, and loads of games on Sunday. Crystal Palace go to Arsenal. I'll be at Everton as they take on Tottenham, and you can hear all the goals as they go in on Game Day Live from 1:30 on Sunday afternoon right up until the full-time whistle on Merseyside. This doesn't look good at all, Darren Ambrose. A stretcher bearer is coming on.
Yeah, it doesn't. I just see one of those innocuous ones, as you said, Crookie. It was a slight challenge. I think it was Ismail Assar, a little challenge, nothing too serious. He may have just twisted his knee because they keep testing it. And yeah, as you said, the stretcher's coming on right in front of his away supporters, where he's getting a lot of cheers from them as well.
Palace fans just reminding us of their FA Cup final victory over Manchester City back in May, that provided the springboard for their first ever European campaign. Again, we're just seeing the replay here. It was Convo, the Palace player, involved. And in fact, Will Hughes maybe gave his own man a bit of a shove as well, but certainly Chakon injuring his knee as he went down over on that far touchline, and he is about to be carried off on a stretcher, so we're going to see an enforced substitution from the Cypriot side here.
I think just looking at that replay, Crookie, as you said, Will Hughes kind of shoved Convo, which made it, and he went kind of over the ball, and that Chakon's foot was stuck in the ground. It did twist a little bit as he was going down, and they were never a good sign.
And a lot of the Larnaca players are still stood over their stricken teammate as he receives treatment. Meanwhile, Tyreek Mitchell has come over to take on some water and some instructions from a member of Oliver Glasner's backroom team. Palace, they've only lost one of their last 21 matches in all competitions. Have an incredible record here at Selhurst Park as well. 7 wins and 6 draws from their last 13 home games. But still 0-0 at the moment. Just peering over the top of the table in front of us just to see who is going to come on for Chakon. It's taken a long time actually to get the sub ready, Darren, considering how long the treatment took.
I thought exactly that. He was on the stretcher, Chakon, and the substitute was still warming up down in the far corner.
Well, it is going to be Georgi Ivanovic, the Serbian forward, who will come on. Scored in the opening win against RZ. It's a bit surprising that he wasn't more primed and ready. They're down to 10 men momentarily, Larnaca, as the game restarts. 0-0 the score. And a foul there on Tyreek Mitchell, the Palace left wing back.
Still not ready, Crookie. This is incredible. He was down for about 5-6 minutes. He's not ready. Idiakas is going crazy at him in the dugout.
Can Palace take advantage of the extra man as they come forward down the right with Daniel Munoz? Still we await the first goal of the evening. Will Hughes with a cross into the penalty area. It was an important header away by Milicevic, with Jeremy Pino, who's made a good start to his Palace career, loitering. Now Gay, the captain, can bring it down inside the centre circle, and still Idiakas is waiting.
Honestly,
for Petrovic.
I can't believe what I'm seeing here. He had 6, 7, 8 minutes to be ready. He's still not ready. Still doing his boots up.
I mean, that is Sunday League stuff in the Conference League tonight on Talksport 2. We've played 18 minutes as the ball is flung forward into the Larnaca penalty area, brought down by Sarr. Munoz with a low cross, turned away by Milicevic for a throw. Good football that from Palace, and finally Larnaca can make their sub. Ivanovic on for the injured Chacon.
For AEK Larnaca, replacing number 18, Yersin Chacon, is number 9.
They managed to put him on the stretcher over the far side, walk him all the way around the pitch, take him down the opposite the tunnel to get him away.
Throwing into the penalty area, chance for Crystal Palace. It was Mateta who had a swing at it 6 yards out. And Larnaca, I think just by sheer number of bodies, managed to block the path to goal.
How didn't that go in, by the way? Long throw, flick on. I think he tackled himself. Mateta tackled Ismail Assar at the back post. Ismail Assar was just about to volley it in. Mateta got in the way, and they just got it all wrong.
And it hit a defender on the line pretty much. Another long throw launched in. This one's collected by Alimirovic at the near post. 0-0 the score, 19 gone. On Talksport 2. Still awaiting the first goal of the evening over on Talksport as well. 0-0 between Forest and Porto in the Europa League, but Celtic trail at home to Sturm Graz by a goal to nil. So looking like another disappointing European night with the two Glasgow side. Here's Mateta, edge of the penalty area. Can he bulldoze his way through? Jean-Philippe Mateta. He was crowded out of it and had to go back to Camp Convo. Now Pino, the diminutive Spaniard, comes out to the left-hand side, rolls the ball into Tyreek Mitchell. Gay has found Lerma in some space just outside the area. He switches it out to the right-hand side in combo again. That's a poor pass, and Larnaca will clear it away. What they've done well, actually, Larnaca, is when Palace have looked like they've been in a shooting position, they've got a lot of bodies in the way of the ball. Here's a cross into the penalty area. Oh, the goalkeeper's flapped it. Mateta with a shot, 6 yards out, bounces down and hits the crossbar. Oh, that is a really bad miss from the Palace man who's been in excellent goal-scoring form.
Has to score for me, Crookie. Has to score. Hat-trick at the weekend. We know he missed a couple of sitters there, but this is a sitter as well. Will Hughes hustling and bustling down right far away from us, down the right-hand side. Finds its way to the danger man for me, Daniel Munoz. Plays it in. Nearly catches the goalkeeper off guard. He carries it to the 6-yard box on his own. Mateta hits it into the ground and hits the crossbar. Big miss.
If you're Oliver Gladstone, though, you'd see that from Alimirovic and be telling his players to get more crosses and just aim the ball in towards the goalkeeper, because that wasn't convincing at all.
For sure. Every set play, every corner, every wide free kick, throw him, put it on top of him, because he's clearly lacking confidence.
Nottingham Forest lead over on Talksport against Porto. Morgan Gibbs White from the penalty spot, the first goal of the Sean Dyche era here at Selhurst Park. We're just tiptoeing towards the midway point of the first half, and it's still Crystal Palace 0, like Larnaca 0. Palace with that golden opportunity. Mateta against the crossbar from no more than 6 yards out. A reminder, this game is brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. We're at Crystal Palace's home this evening. There's been an incident over on the far side where one of the Larnaca players just collided with the advertising hoardings. He is okay.
Hit a cameraman on the way through as well. Cameraman's back up though.
And I think it was Ivanovic who, well, he's a burly fella. If he did collide with you, you know about it.
It's polite.
He was the sub who took an age to get ready after Chacon was forced off with that early injury. Not an empty seat inside Selhurst this evening, as you'd expect on such a momentous occasion. Palace off to Arsenal at the weekend in the Premier League, as Milicevic, the centre-back for Larnaca, is forced into a mistake, just plays the ball out for a Palace throw on halfway. Here's Gaye, the captain. Rolls the ball to the Colombian international Jefferson Lerma. He's had to be patient this season, Lerma. gets his opportunity to start tonight. As Mitchell feeds the ball into Mateta, rolled off to Pino. Mateta continued his run. Pino tried to slide it back to the forward, and it's ushered out of play. And then in trying to win the ball back, Pino has been adjudged to have fouled Jeremy Ganali, the right back for Larnaca. So it's a free kick for the visitors.
Yeah, it was good defending initially. Milicevic, JP Mateta was just making a run forward. Jeremy Pino, we know he can deliver those intricate passes. Kind of Milicevic just pretended that he was going with Mateta. As soon as he played the pass, intercepted it.
Well, the ball has been played forward. It's over the head of Munoz. Opportunity here for Ganelli to come forward, the left back. Good play by Bajicic out to his right hand side. At the moment only Ivanovic waits in the centre, and it's easily won back by Munoz. Now Will Hughes with room to run into midway inside his own half. He immediately looks for the pace of Ismail Assar. Assar into the penalty area, cuts the ball back for Pino. Good defending by Milicevic, sliding in and sweeping clear. Haven't done that enough tonight, Palace. Used that blistering speed of Ismail Assar to get in behind this Larnaca defence.
Yeah, what a wonderful pass from Will Hughes. I thought he hadn't seen it. He was coming towards us, running towards us in terms of on his left foot, right down the far side. Ismail Assar, we know how quick he is, and he played a glorious pass in behind. Sometimes, though, I just think, go for goal. Go for goal. He held it up, waited for Jeremy Pino, but there was too many players in the box to defend it. Just get it on your foot and have a shot.
24 minutes gone. Palace 0, Larnaca 0. Celtic still trailing at home to Sturm Graz in the Europa League. Rangers beaten in that competition 3-0 away from home by Brann earlier this evening. And over on Talksport, it's Nottingham Forest 1, Porto 0. Morgan Gibbs-White from the penalty spot, giving Sean Dyche's Tricky Trees the lead. It's not been the Palace domination that maybe we expected.
No, it hasn't, and it's down to the sheer work rate of the Larnaca players. Every time a Palace player gets a little bit of time, they swarm around you, and it's really difficult to break that down. It's also difficult to sustain that, though, if you are the Larnaca players. I'm sure the fitness of Palace will shine through in the end.
Yeah, we saw that even in a couple of games in the Champions League last night involving Premier League teams. Cross from Will Hughes is headed backwards by Rob Erge, and again the goalkeeper didn't look entirely comfortable, Alimirovic, before eventually clutching it from the sky, but by that time he'd already carried it behind for a corner.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Find this delivery now from Will Hughes in this corner. Put it right on Alimirovic. Put it right on his head, because he's not looking confident whatsoever.
And they have caused some issues with set pieces already tonight. Crystal Palace. Hughes to deliver from the right hand side. Again, there are a cluster of players, Mateta amongst them, in front of Alimirovic, the keeper. Lacroix forward from the back as well. This time the goalkeeper gets a good punch on it to the edge of the area, and the referee again has penalised Palace for a foul. He's getting a lot of protection, the keeper, whenever these balls are swung in.
Yeah, it was a lot better from Alimirovic. Come out, good punch. I did see, just as the delivery was about to be taken by Will Hughes, the referee did go up and speak to Mateta and Sarr in the middle, basically just saying, look, calm down or I'll give a foul, and that's exactly what he done.
Still goalless here at Selhurst Park. Free kick played out to Milicevic, who goes long upfield, looking for Ivanovic. Well won by Convo, but they put it back in the right back area with Tere Pons. Now the orange-shirted goalkeeper Alimirovic plays it out to the left-hand side, and Ganali under pressure has given the ball away and then looked to foul Convo. The referee allowed play to continue, and the big roar of Hughes tells you that Will Hughes slides in and knocks it out of play for a throw-in for Larnaca.
It's a lovely tackle again, Will Hughes. We talk about him being unsung hero. As you said, soon as he challenged him, the Hughes shouts rung round Selhurst Park.
Ganali this time has been upended, so it will be a free kick. Jeremy Pino, the offender, as far as Crystal Palace are concerned. Free kick played back into the Larnaca half, and then Ganali beaten to it by Munoz initially, but they're still coming forward. Here is Ganali, the Congolese fullback. Out to the left-hand side, and Petrovic with a deep delivery. Well claimed by Henderson, with Bajacic in close proximity, and it was a swirling cross. Henderson, the keeper, bowls it out to his captain Gay on the edge of the area. 28 minutes gone, 0-0 in this Conference League tie. Palace's second group game, having won 2-0 away from home against Dynamo Kyiv last time out. Not had too many opportunities so far this evening. Just the one clear-cut chance, really, that Jean-Philippe Mateta should have buried. He hit a shot into the ground from 6 yards and struck the crossbar. Maxence Lacroix with a raking pass to Mitchell. Does well to keep it in play on this near side, Tyreek Mitchell. But Larnaca win it back, and it's clipped towards the halfway line. Gay across to claim it, and then cleverly draws the foul from Bajacic, because he never really had the ball under control.
Yeah, really clever. It was almost clever from Bajacic there. He just blocked off Maxence Lacroix for Marc Gay, so he just cut inside and just went over. It wasn't really anything in it, but it was clever play from Marc Gay.
Gay out to the left-hand side, and Pino coming on his right foot. He slipped as he was going to play the ball into the penalty area. Found Lerma, more by luck than judgment. Gets it back, Pino. He might have another attempt at putting the cross in. Instead, Gay chips it forward, looking for the run of Mateta, but too close to Alimirovic, who just collapses on top of the ball inside his penalty area. You are listening to Crystal Palace against AEK Larnaca in the Conference League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. They have just quietened the atmosphere, Larnaca, amongst the Palace fans, who are really pumped before kick-off, but haven't had too much to get excited about.
Yeah, they just need to give them a little bit more, Crystal Palace, in terms of goal-mouth action.
Remember Oliver Glasner naming a strong lineup, just the 3 changes from the weekend draw against Bournemouth, that exhilarating 3-3 game. Jean-Philippe Mateta, the hat-trick hero on Saturday, missed a golden chance to take the points, and he's missed another good opportunity already this evening, but he is in excellent form.
What he won't do, Cookie, is let that bother him, that miss. We see that at the weekend against Bournemouth. He missed 2, didn't he, before he ended up scoring, and then went on to score a hat-trick. He won't let that miss bother him. He'll know he'll get another opportunity, and I'm sure he'll bury it if he does.
7 goals for Crystal Palace this season, scored for France as well during the last international break. He also scored Palace's first ever European goal in the qualifier against Fredrikstad. As Marc Gay trots forward over halfway for the home team. They are starting to control the tempo of the game now, Palace. Maybe that superior fitness already is beginning to show. Here's Mateta on the edge of the area, low left foot shot, deflected, and that took any sting out of the effort. It's collected by Alimirovic inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah, it's good play once again. He's winning the battle up there, Jean-Philippe Mateta, and he's combining really well with Pino and Ismail Assar. That one was Pino, little 1-2, just under hit the shot, and is comfortable in the end.
There's Jefferson Lerma hustling and bustling in midfield, slipping as he plays the ball out to Tyreek Mitchell. And there was a foul on Pino midway inside the Larnaca half. They certainly haven't shied away from a tackle tonight, the team from Cyprus. That was just a little bit late from Pere Pons on his fellow countryman. An opportunity here for Palace to summon forward the likes of Marc Gay and Maxence Lacroix. Difficult delivery this, isn't it? Right in the centre of the Larnaca half, just trying to scoop it over the head of the yellow and green shirted back line and hope that somebody in a Palace shirt can get on the end of it. All the time not playing it too close to the Larnaca goalkeeper. Pino and Will Hughes are the 2 Palace players over the free kick. It's going to be Hughes with a left-footed delivery, and it wasn't a bad ball, you know. Just swings in the end harmlessly over the heads of his Palace teammates and out for a goal kick for Larnaca.
Yeah, it was a good ball. It was the right ball as well. The left footer from where you said, that angle. It's been a real good header from Jefferson Lerma if he got to that and ended up directing that in the goal. It's a difficult one, as you said, Crookie, from there. I think I'd have just shot, to be honest.
Well, he's only ever scored 1 goal in 85 games for Palace. Darren Ambrose got a few more than that over the course of his Eagles career. 1 or 2 famous ones.
I don't like to talk about him.
You did score at Old Trafford once, didn't you? Comes up on his
Once per
social
team.
media every year, that goal. Did you win the League Cup that year?
Nah, went out to Cardiff. Liverpool won it that year.
So it was pretty pointless, really, then. Free kick for Larnaca, just inside the Palace half. 0-0 here at Selhurst Park. Forest a goal to the good at home to Porto. Over on Talksport. Morgan Gibbs-White from the penalty spot in that Europa League game. Celtic still trailing at home to Sturm Graz by a goal to 0 earlier tonight in the Europa League. Both Rangers and Aston Villa live on Talksport 2 were beaten. So after a positive week in the Champions League for the British sides, it's not been a good night so far this evening. Can Crystal Palace change that here? As the ball is chipped forward by Larnaca, flicked on by Bajicic, but collected by Maxence Lacroix on the edge of the penalty area. 0-0 the score. Still, really only that one big chance for Palace that Mateta hit into the ground and against the crossbar. Oliver Glasner, arms folded in his shiny white trainers, watches on. There's a very tiny technical area here at Selhurst Park. Palace coming forward down their right with Will Hughes. Hughes looking to play the ball to the edge of the area, flicked on by Pino, swept clear by Eric Sabarit, and picked up again by Will Hughes, who's probably been the best Palace player so far over the course of the opening 35 minutes, and the driving force in midfield, the Eagles' cult hero. He is JD Combo, the French defender. 15 yards inside Larnaca territory. Only Dean Henderson at the moment is back inside the Palace half of the pitch, right in front of us. Now Mark Gay, the captain, takes over. Larnaca doing well though again. Everybody back behind the ball, keeping their positions well. Lerma plays it along the midfield to the right hand side, and Hughes, and then JD Combo. I mean, that is Darren Ambrose territory, isn't it? 45 yards out, clearly spotted the goalkeeper was wandering, shoots right-footed, and that wasn't too far away from the corner.
That's not too far, by the way. I think it panicked Alan Morovic at one point. I mean, he's struggling now. The medical staff are coming on to see the Larnaca goalkeeper, but it was a great strike. I mean, shouldn't have troubled him. I think Will Hughes passed it to him, said deliver it in the box, didn't mean shoot from near on 40, 45 yards, but you don't shoot those, you don't score, Cookie.
A wry smile on the face of JD Combo, another who's had to be patient, biding his time to get an opportunity. His only previous appearance following that summer move from Toulouse was against Millwall in the League Cup, a game that Palace made hard work of before going through. They're going to take on Liverpool live on Talksport next week in the next round of that competition. Tomorrow night we've got a choice of listening for you. Leeds against West Ham is our live and exclusive Premier League commentary on Talksport at 8 o'clock. At the same time here on Talksport 2, Preston against struggling Sheffield United. On Saturday we've got the Championship leaders Coventry in action here on Talksport 2 at home to Watford. That's a 12:30 kickoff. Game Day Live comes from Stamford Bridge. Adrian Durham bringing you all the goals from the Premier League and the EFL. If you want more live Championship action, keep it on Talksport 2. Millwall against Leicester at 3 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock on Talksport, an intriguing one between Brentford and Liverpool. Liverpool back to winning ways in the Champions League last night, but Brentford proving a tough nut to crack under Keith Andrews. We've had another fairly lengthy delay there. Alan Morovic needing treatment. Play has restarted. None of this is going to help Darren Ambrose make his midnight train home.
That's all I've gone on about.
We are going to see a few added minutes, I would imagine, at the end of this so far goalless first half. Jefferson Lerma Plays the ball out to Gay, bit of space for Tariq Mitchell to come forward down the Palace left, but intercepted by Roden. And then Will Hughes, as you can probably hear, regains possession of Palace, but they're giving it away a bit too cheaply, I think, for Oliver Glasner's liking at the moment. Larnaca not able to really capitalise, and then there was a foul by Georgi Ivanovic. So a free kick for Palace inside the centre circle. You are listening to Crystal Palace against AEK Larnaca in the Conference League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Those Palace ultras behind the Holmesdale Road goal, banging on their drums, trying to keep the atmosphere lively, but it's a lot quieter here now than it was when we kicked off around about 38 minutes ago. Credit to Larnaca for quelling the home fans' enthusiasm. Here's Mark Gay, the Palace captain, into the away half of the field. Checks back on his left-hand side, then comes infield once more. They are really well drilled, aren't they, Larnaca?
Yeah, there's a real air of frustration in the Crystal Palace players' faces. Mark Gay had to keep hold of the ball for longer than he wanted to. Turned one way, turned the other. Couldn't find a Palace player. It's just through the sheer work rate.
Almost given away inside his own half by Ganali. Pino couldn't quite get on the end of that, and it's cleared in the end by Valentin Roberge, the ex-Sunderland man. It's clumsy pass from Maxence Lacroix. An opportunity again for Lana to come forward. The ball is played in behind Convo. Picked up by Ivanovic, left-hand side, crosses into the penalty area. Gay there to head clear before it could reach Bajicic. Is out for a Larnaca throw. That wasn't great defending from JD Convo.
He's done that a couple of times now. Just got caught under the ball, ended up falling over. Ivanovic has impressed me actually since he's come on. He took an age to come on, but since every time he gets the ball, he looks threatening.
Here he is again down that left-hand side, crossing into the penalty area, blocked by Convo, and then half volleyed away by Will Hughes up into the Selhurst Park sky. Palace have it back now with Daniel Munoz, who's going to chip it forward, looking for either Sarr or Mateta. Gustavo helps it back to the goalkeeper, Alamarovic. Larnaca trying to play their way out from the back. Have given it away to Munoz, but his pass is cleared. I don't think Oliver Glasner will be at all happy with Palace's ball retention, or lack of, over the opening 41 minutes here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, he's not happy at all. I just see him punch in the air when Daniel Munoz gave that one away. It was an easy pass and he got it wrong.
Crystal Palace 0, Larnaca 0. In the Conference League, Palace's first home game in a major European competition. Mateta dropping deep into midfield just to get a feel of the ball, the Frenchman. Then Gay fizzes the pass into Ismaila Sarr. Munoz looking to give it back to Sarr, but they weren't quite in the same wavelength there, and it's cleared away by Roberge. Now Palace will have to start again with a throw deep inside their own half of the field.
So difficult to break this team down at the moment. As I said, can they sustain it the full match? If they do, they've got a good chance of getting something out of this game, because it's really frustrating Crystal Palace at the moment. They can't break them down. Mark
Gay over the halfway line for Palace. Convo takes over, and again everybody in those bright yellow and green jerseys back behind the ball. Maxence Lacroix out to Convo. His shot that almost caught out the Larnaca goalkeeper from 45 yards. One of the few opportunities that Palace have really managed to carve tonight, and that was more speculative than anything else. Gay swings the ball into the penalty area. Pino heads it down for Jefferson Lerma, but he was in an offside position, so it's going to be a Larnaca free kick.
He's not happy again, Oliver Glasner, just watching him down in front of us in his technical area. It's lazy. It's lazy being offside. Don't need to be offside in that position. He's talking to his backroom staff in the dugout. Paddy McCarthy, one of those, former teammate of mine. Really frustrating they'll be. 3
minutes plus stoppage time to go in this first half. We await the first goal of the evening. Mateta has been penalised for a foul, as you know. In fact, it's gone the other way. Will Hughes wants to take the free kick quickly. And the first yellow card of the evening for Pere Pons, I think it was, stopping the free kick from being taken. Palace now will send the centre-backs forward again, although one of those, Maxence Lacroix, looks like he's going to take the free kick, so it's going to be played short, in fact, to Convo. Now Ismail Assar down that right-hand side. Mateta waits in the centre. Can they get across in here? Munoz, right corner of the penalty area. Forced wide by the attentions of Ganali. Here is Maxence Lacroix for Palace, still goalless on Talksport 2. Forest a goal up at home to Porto in the Europa League over on Talksport. As Jeremy Pino looks for space on the edge of the area. Gay into the feet of Lerma. Lerma has to shoot by the Palace fans. And he hammers a right-footed shot from 25 yards high over the crossbar.
Yeah, it's probably the best chance they've had in about 15-20 minutes since that JP Mateta one. But it's poor from Jefferson Lerma. He's better than that. Edge of the box, 25 yards. You got to hit the target. You got to make the goalkeeper work. Just blazed it over the bar.
Oliver Glasner in a black coat, very similar to yours tonight, Darren Ambrose. Got it off the back of the same lorry, maybe.
We must have the same contacts.
Have you texted him, by the way?
Yeah. He's getting a text, don't worry, he's getting a text. Get you another freebie.
We do love a freebie. We'd love a goal tonight. Not sure many of us had 0-0 at half-time down on the predictions list. We're about to see how many added minutes there will be at the end of this opening 45. It's going to be a Larnaca throw to be taken by Jeremy Ganali, the Congolese fullback. Will Hughes picks it up in midfield for Palace, and Pino is dispossessed when he had an opportunity maybe to start an attack there. The ball is thrust forward looking for Bajacic, who's been a willing runner, but Mark Gay in the right place to head that clear. 5 added minutes at the end of the first half, just signalled by the fourth official, as Gay's punt upfield is over the head of Ismail Assar and collected by Aliborovic, the keeper.
5 minutes.
He would have expected to be busier.
Yeah, he certainly would have. I'd expected him to be busier as well. He's had hardly anything to do. A few crosses. Didn't have nothing to do with Mateta's chance because Mateta put it over the bar. Yeah, I've been really impressed actually with AEK Larnaca. I really have. The work rate has been tremendous.
The big question, as you've mentioned a couple of times, is will fitness come to the fore in the second half? Palace do have options on the bench as well, the likes of Adam Wharton, Eddie Nketiah. There was a big clamour for him maybe to be given a starting chance this evening, just to rest Jean-Philippe Mateta for that game at Arsenal at the weekend. Game Day Live will be live from the Emirates on Sunday afternoon. Larnaca have the ball with Ganali over on the left-hand side. Now it's Palace's turn to defend deep. Larnaca's last shot in this game was in the 10th minute, taken by Gustavo. They've only had 2 shots in the whole half. Palace haven't had many more. Mateta forward to Pino, though, looking to change that. Gives it back to Mateta. He's off balance, Mateta, as he shoots right-footed and lifts his effort over the crossbar.
Yeah, it's probably along with his other chance, probably the best chance of the half for Crystal Palace. And we said they combine really well, don't they? Mateta and Jeremy Pino. And they played another good one too. It's a lovely reverse ball back into the path of JP Mateta. But as you said, he was just falling over. We're right behind that, and it didn't curl enough into the far corner.
It's another shot off target for Palace. They yet to muster a single effort on target in this first half.
I mean, if there's ever a surprise, no one would have had this, I don't think, in terms of a 0-0 draw at half-time. But Larnaca deserve it.
What were they, 14-1 Larnaca before a ball was kicked?
Yep, 6-1 was it for the draw.
They did beat AZ Alkmaar by 4 goals to 1 in their first game. That's a foul on Tyreek Mitchell by Rob Ayres, and it's going to be a free kick for Palace, but well inside their own half. We're going to be hearing from Nuno Espirito Santo at half-time ahead of West Ham's trip to Leeds, live on Talksport tomorrow night. It's been a busy week of commentaries. At the moment, it's a frustrating Thursday night under the lights for Crystal Palace. Ismail Assar carrying the ball down the right-hand side, but again forced to go backwards. Larnaca defending well, keeping their shape out of possession. Jeremy Pino wanted a free kick, but the referee decided that was a fair challenge by Milincevic. And then Will Hughes with a really robust tackle to win the ball back inside the centre circle for Crystal Palace. Got a chance to get it forward quickly here. Lacroix looking for Saar, but again it's over his head and all the way through to Alimirovic.
It's good defending once again. This time it was Sabarit for Larnaca. Followed Ismail Assar from his position and just pretended to head it, ducked out the way, let it roll through to the goalkeeper.
Alimirovic with a volleyed pass upfield, headed away by Gay, the Crystal Palace captain. We're deep into 5 added minutes at the end of the first half on Talksport 2, 0-0 the score. As Larnaca with a throw 15 yards or so inside the Crystal Palace half. Marcus Roden, the Swedish international, in no real hurry to take it. Instead, coming forward is Jorge Miramon. Immediately won back by Jefferson Lerma, and then Pino trying to help it forward to Mateta. Chip towards the Crystal Palace penalty area by Miramon, and there's Dean Henderson, all in black, the Palace goalkeeper, bowls it out quickly to Convo. You can hear the Palace fans urging Convo to carry it forward. It's not a great pass into Ismail Assar, easily intercepted. And now Gustavo with a chance to come forward. Was he fouled by Mateta? No. And as he went down, he's handled the ball. So Palace have a free kick right at the end of stoppage time in this first half.
I mean, I thought it was a foul, to be honest. Mateta back and Gustavo just leant on his back, pushed him over. I thought it was a foul. The referee has let a few of those go, particularly that battle there, Gustavo and JP Mateta coming back.
Can Crystal Palace make the most of that moment of fortune? Free kick about to be launched forward by Jeremy Pino. There are 5 or 6 Palace players lined up on the edge of the penalty area away to our left. This will probably be the last action of the first half. Is a deep delivery over the head of them all. Jefferson Lerma has to scamper to keep it in play on this left-hand side. Mitchell into Hughes. Hughes with a good ball into the area. Mateta's header is wide. There's a wonderfully whipped ball in by Will Hughes. I think Mateta, in fairness, had to generate a lot of his own power. Just couldn't quite get the header on target. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a big chance again for me. And again, Will Hughes, probably the best player, the standout player for Crystal Palace. Lovely delivery with his left foot, whipped it in. Mateta didn't get enough on his head. He's got no goals this half, could quite easily have had 3 once again.
Well, that was the last action of the first half. One of few clear-cut opportunities that Crystal Palace have really managed to carve out. Jean-Philippe Mateta, in the form that he has been, would have backed himself to bury the header. He would certainly have backed himself to bury the chance from 6 yards out that he hit into the ground and against the crossbar. That the closest that Crystal Palace have come to breaking down this stubborn Larnaca side. I guess, Darren Ambrose, the mood going back to that dressing room will be one of frustration for the home team.
Yeah, frustration and probably an element of disappointment as well. I don't think they've created too much other those chances for Mateta. One clear cut, the other half chances. I think they'll be disappointed. I think Oliver Glasner looked disappointed, didn't he? He kept berating his side for misplaced passes, and I think the work rate of Larnaca has really surprised Crystal Palace, and it's quietened the crowd here, and I think they deserve to go in 0-0.
Well, they've had pretty much 64% possession, Crystal Palace, but they haven't really turned that possession into clear scoring chances, yet to have a shot on goal against the team 5th in the Cypriot League. Oliver Glasner will be demanding much better on their big night under the lights here at Selhurst Park in the second half. Half-time, it is Crystal Palace 0, the Minnows, AEK Larnaca 0.
Conference League live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it. Two champions lie in wait. Who will earn the shot at Undisputed? It's all or nothing. Parker versus Wardley, October 25th. Watch only on DAZN.
At By Association, we stay one step ahead of the property market, which is why our award-winning consultants know that Manchester has recently overtaken London as the UK's top hotspot for residential property. With an ever-expanding city centre, new transport links and a booming rental market, the smart money really is in Manchester. Discover why more and more people are choosing Manchester and request your free property guide today. Text BA Radio to 66777. By Association, rated excellent on Trustpilot.
School bags, wellies, footballs and a trumpet. When did the back seat become a dumping ground? If only you could clear the clutter and reset to zero. Well, you can. With the Mazda 0% sales event. Running from the 17th of October to the 10th of November. 0% APR across the Mazda range. Search Mazda. Available on PCP when financed through Mazda Financial Services by 31st December 25. Indemnities may be required. Terms apply. See website.
At Lexi's Cafe, it's spiced pumpkin latte season, and the only thing scarier than the lunchtime rush is the Wi-Fi going down. That's why Lexi chose BT's enhanced business broadband. It's a secure, fast, reliable connection that won't ghost your business. Now 25% off in BT's Halloween sale with no upfront cost. Search BT Business Broadband Deals. 25% off $39.95 excluding 20% VAT on 24 months enhanced 100. Ends 2nd of November. Terms apply.
Dulux Trade Vinyl Matte Paint is made by us.
And approved by professional painters like me and you.
It's made for great flow and open time.
So it goes on easy as you like, every time.
And it's made for ultimate opacity and coverage.
A couple of coats and you're good to go.
Dulux Trade Vinyl Matte. It's made by us.
And approved by you. And me.
For a great all-rounder, pick up a can of Dulux Trade Vinyl Matte today.
Get ready for our biggest kitchen event of the year. It's Howden's Trade Fest.
Live now at your local Howden's depot, this is the best time to buy kitchens. With our biggest kitchen deals of the year, we won't be beaten on price. And our headline act, our free home survey and design service. Don't miss Trade Fest, only at Howden's, the UK's #1 trade kitchen supplier. Purchased by trade account only. Verify and see price promise at howdens.com/radio. T's and C's and exclusions apply.
People are tuning into radio more than ever. Advertise here and get your message heard by up to 6.5 million switched on listeners every week. Email radio@news.co.uk.
Every emotion and total devotion.
This game on. This is Talksport 2.
Frantic Friday night football on the Talksport network. Leeds face West Ham in the Premier League on Talksport. While Preston take on Sheffield United in a Chipper Championship showdown on Talksport 2. Dual kick-off time of 8 p.m. Feel the full force of live Friday night football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
Only one radio heavyweight brings you unbeatable, canvas-thumping coverage of the biggest bouts in world boxing. Talksport. Go the distance with unparalleled ringside commentary of the biggest boxing showdowns.
Unbelievable stuff at the Manchester Arena!
With 2 tough-talking boxing shows, Fight Night and Fight Night Extra.
The fight starts now!
Plus, get total knockout content on our world-class boxing podcasts and dedicated YouTube channel.
Swaggering, full of confidence.
Available now, and it's all for free. Talksport and Talksport 2, your home of boxing.
Passion, heartbreak, glory, despair, triumph.
Fantastic try.
The Conference League.
Brilliant reaction.
Live on Talksport 2.
You are listening to the Conference League live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. So goalless at half-time, rather surprisingly, between Crystal Palace and Larnaca of Cyprus. Jean-Philippe Mateta has had one shot against the crossbar, another late header that flashed wide of the far post, but they're yet to have a single shot on target. Crystal Palace, no doubt Oliver Glasner will be demanding much more from his team in the second half. What about elsewhere for the British teams in Europe tonight? Well, in the Europa League, Rangers have already lost 3-0 away from home against Norwegian side Brann. It's not going much better for the green and white half of Glasgow either. Celtic 0, Sturm Graz 1 at half-time at Celtic Park. Earlier this evening on Talksport 2, we brought you live commentary of Aston Villa's 2-1 defeat away from home against Go Ahead Eagles. And over on Talksport right now in the Europa League, in Sean Dyche's first game in charge of Nottingham Forest, they lead Porto by a Morgan Gibbs-White penalty to 0. Aberdeen in the Conference League thrashed 6-0 away from home by AEK Athens. That is a full-time result. Don't forget, tomorrow, live on TalkSport, we have Premier League commentary as Leeds United take on West Ham in a big basement battle. Also on TalkSport this weekend, 8 o'clock on Saturday night, we'll have live and exclusive national radio commentary of Brentford against Liverpool. So the live football keeps on coming, and what a huge game that is at Elland Road, particularly for Nuno Espirito Santo and for West Ham, looking to bounce straight back after Monday's disappointing defeat to Brentford, and the Hammers boss admits that performance was nowhere near good enough.
That we still have problems, and we're going to have problems, that we still didn't quite play good enough, was not good enough. And the realization that we have to improve. Concerned that this improvement must come first of all from individual players, the responsibility players that have to win their own game, their own duels, and then for sure as a team we're going to improve. But it's totally possible. Totally possible as long as we realize what are our main. First, detect which problems you are, then address them, improve on them, but more than anything, togetherness, unity, create a bond, that being able to be strong enough as individuals, and then transform that. And it starts on Friday. So the frustration that we had when the game against Brentford finished, we must transform this frustration in commitment and motivation so we can play better.
As Nuno Espirito Santo looking ahead to Leeds against West Ham, live and exclusive on TalkSport. Tomorrow evening, Hugh Wizencroft, your presenter, with Sam Matterface and the former England striker Dean Ashton on commentary duty. At the same time, here on TalkSport 2, we've got live championship action from Deepdale as Preston host Sheffield United on Saturday lunchtime. Will be the home of the championship leaders, Coventry City, as they face Watford, with the Sky Blues in great form at the start of the season. Our very own Ian Abrahams caught up with their informed striker, Brandon Thomas Asante.
This is the best start Coventry ever made after 11 games. All the great teams they've had in the past. Rather than you're not finished, how about this is a springboard to get to the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we're grateful for the opportunity, for the position that we're in. You know, it's a real opportunity to push and to continue in that manner. So, you know, we're not lost on that, but equally, it's you need to be level-headed, and equally in the same ways that when we've had negative times, we managed to turn it around. We know that now when the times are positive, we need to be able to keep pushing in that same manner. So it's just about, managing that and continuing to go into every game, because every game you start at 0-0, so we've got to just turn up every week. So
I've seen Coventry twice this season, and the one thing I love about you is you keep going for more goals. You were 2 up at Millwall, you went for a third, you went for a fourth, you even went for a fifth. I saw you at Portsmouth, and even at 2-0 you smashed one against the crossbar. What's it like playing in a team that seems to have that licence to go and enjoy yourself going forward? Because not every team that I see is afforded that licence.
That's actually a good point. I think I've not sat back and appreciated that, because sometimes you might be in a team where, you know, it's 1-0 and everyone's been told to get back, and, you know, I'm really grateful that we're not that team, because I think that can be a dangerous mentality of trying to rest on, you know, just a little lead. So we know how to fight and how to be resilient in those times where it is a slender lead, but also we always have that license to push. But as well as having an amazing manager and staff who push us to do that, we also have such a talented squad. When I look around and all of my teammates from the back to the front, you know, we believe in each other. So, you know, when Tatsu the other day was breaking forward, and you know, when we're only just ahead, and he gives you that belief that we can go and do more. So that goes for everyone on the pitch. and we're just happy that we've got that such a strong squad. So.
Last one, the manager. I've known him a long time, since he was 18 at West Ham. But what has he done for your career? Because I think I see a different you this season to what I've seen before.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm really, really thankful for the opportunity to be able to work with the gaffer, because you got who he is as a person, his mentality of what took him to the top in his career, which he still has in his managerial career. The technical advice, and not just the manager, but the whole staff that came with him. Jonah, all the staff have just been amazing for me. So I'm like Joe Edwards as well. I'm just so grateful for how everyone's been with me, and even at times where you've had an off day, I think they've, like in training for example, they'll work with me and show me what I can do better, and when times are good they'll show me what I can do better. So honestly, I can ask for more. They've been so supportive for me, and as a player, it's our profession, it's our job to always learn from. You can always pick things from anyone, but from these particular staff, I'm really relishing playing for them, and I hope that I can repay the faith that they've had in me, because when times last season, playing on injury or things like that, they still were supportive for me and they backed me. So I'm thankful that now I'm feeling a bit better in myself, that I can repay that, and I know there's a lot more to do. I've not done a fraction of what I want to do.
That's the Coventry striker Brandon Thomas Asante, I should say, looking ahead to Coventry against Watford, live on Talksport 2 this Saturday. That's a 12:30 kickoff, and it's not just live football on the Talksport network this weekend, as this Saturday we bring you a big heavyweight boxing bout as Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley face off for the WBO interim title live from the O2 Arena. Our expert boxing team will keep you right across a busy fight week, and don't forget you can watch along with us on the night of the fight over on the Talksport Boxing YouTube channel. That's Joseph Parker against Fabio Wardley this Saturday from 7:30 p.m. on the Talksport network, or watch live on DAZN. Back here at Selhurst Park, the AEK Larnaca players are the first to emerge from the tunnel away to our right. Will Oliver Glasner be tempted to make any changes, Darren Ambrose, even at this early stage?
Yeah, I think he should be considering it. Yes, I think if this was a boxing match, this would go down as a draw. It's a draw at the moment. It's one of those that Larnaca are working extremely hard. Crystal Palace are getting extremely frustrated. I think it's one of those that Oliver Glasner will say to his team, go out, you've got 10-15 minutes to change this game in our favour, get a couple of goals maybe, let's relax. If not, we've got players on the bench. I expect to see Adam Wharton, Kamada. Two players can break the lines of defences in different ways. Wharton with his passing ability, Kamada with his running ability, making those late runs. Expect to see changes soon.
Well, it is worth noting that 6 of Palace's 8 goals here at Selhurst Park this season have come in the second half, including that Mateta hat-trick against Bournemouth at the weekend. So maybe that's a positive omen as Oliver Glasner takes a high five for a few young Crystal Palace fans on his way back to his technical area. Indeed, there are no changes in personnel, so Palace will kick off this second half with a team that started the first. Henderson the goalkeeper, Combo, Lacroix and Gay the back three. Munoz and Tyrick Mitchell are the two wing-backs. Lerma and Will Hughes in midfield, with Sarr and Jeremy Pino up in support of Jean-Philippe Mateta in attack. We are back off and underway here on Talksport 2. AEK Larnaca in their very loud yellow and green striped jerseys, green shorts and yellow socks, and from right to left. Palace in striped blue and red shirts, blue shorts and blue socks, attacking the Holmesdale Road end away to our right. There's no danger of these Larnaca players getting lost in the dark on their way home tonight, is there?
Not having that kit, though.
I've seen you in worse clobber, to be fair. Long ball forward over the head of Mateta, collected by the Larnaca goalkeeper Zlatan Alimirovic, who's yet to be called into serious action, although had Jean-Philippe Mateta's effort against the crossbar been a couple of inches lower, that would have been a different story. Palace back in Premier League action at Arsenal this weekend. Game Day Live comes from the Emirates, but there's a host of 2 o'clock kickoffs, followed by Everton against Spurs at 4:30. I'll be at the Hill Dickinson Stadium alongside Aaron Lennon, bringing you all the goals as they go in from Merseyside. As Will Hughes plays the ball back into the centre circle, and Lacroix. Palace, who've kept only 1 clean sheet in 5 home games this season, haven't really looked like conceding. Dean Henderson hasn't made any saves worthy of note. But the longer it stays 0-0, the more Larnaca will fancy causing a real upset this evening.
Yeah, I think that will be the disappointment with Oliver Glasner, that they're not in the lead. They're not a couple of goals up as we all expected them to be. Big games coming up. Arsenal at the weekend, rest some of his big players. Can't afford to do that at the moment.
Yeah, I guess Mikel Arteta, sipping on a glass of Rioja, will be enjoying the fact that Palace are having a toil a bit here ahead of that trip across the capital. Here is Mark Gay chipping the ball forward, looking for Ismail Assar. Again, Larnaca defending that penalty area away to our right well. Strong play though by Convo, holding off Ivanovic and then playing it back to Maxence Lacroix inside his own half. 48 on the clock, 0-0. Over on Talksport, they're back underway at the City Ground where Forest lead Porto 1-0 in the Europa League. Morgan Gibbs-White with a penalty in Sean Dyche's first game in charge. For those of you just joining us early tonight, Aston Villa beaten 2-1 away from home by go-ahead Eagles in the Europa League. Rangers lost 3-0 in Norway against Brann, and Celtic a goal down at half-time in the 8 o'clock kickoff in the Europa League at home to Sturm Graz. Throw in here for Palace. Jefferson Lerma just dusting the ball down with a towel. He's level with the 18-yard line. He's gone right to the advertising hoardings to get maximum leverage here, Lerma. And Palace have crowded the Larnaca box away to our right. It's towards Maxence Lacroix at the near post. It wasn't actually a great throw from Lerma. They've done well to keep it alive here. Palace. Munoz with a cross. It's headed behind for a corner.
Yeah, great delivery again, Daniel Munoz. Never understand the long throws, Crookie, when they've not got a long throw in. I've seen Jefferson Lerma twice do that, and he hasn't really reached anywhere near the 6-yard box. But yeah, it ended up at Daniel Munoz with a lovely delivery, and it was poor defending in the end from Roberge.
Mateta, as he often does, just whipping out the Palace fans behind that goal. They're attacking. Will Hughes with a short delivery. Gets it back from Pino. Hughes with a left-footed ball. Oh, it's a lovely cross, and it's headed down and wide by Lacroix. A really well-worked set-piece from Crystal Palace. Applause from Oliver Glasner in his technical area. And I think Lacroix will be disappointed not to hit the target from close range.
Yep, I think it's another one that he should score. Lacroix, and if Jeremy Pino goes out, plays a short one to Will Hughes. Another lovely delivery, I have to say. He has been the pick of the players of Crystal Palace. It's right on his head, Maxence Lacroix. 6 yards out. He got too much on it, and he headed it wide.
Well, he hasn't scored, Maxence Lacroix, since netting against Manchester City here. His only Crystal Palace goal back in December. He will be disappointed that he didn't bury that one as Mateta comes bearing down away to the left. Does well to keep the ball in play. Mitchell with a chance to cross. Bit of early pressure at the start of this second half being applied by Palace. 0-0 the score, but they are knocking on the door, and they've won a throw down by the corner flag. And again, Mateta with both hands whipping up the Palace fans.
Yeah, a bit more attacking intent, isn't it, this opening minutes of the second half. Had a couple of opportunities to get the ball in the box, and they've done so. And what's it, Jefferson Lerma going to put one of his massive long throws in the box again?
From the left-hand side this time.
He's got the window this time.
The Palace subs, Adam Wharton amongst them, warm up rather down to our right. Ball into the area, nodded down by Mateta and cleared by Gustavo. All hands very much on deck for Larnaca. Palace dominating the opening 6 minutes of this second half, but it's still 0-0. A reminder, this game being brought to you in association with TNT Sports, your home of European football. Oh, and given away by Convo. And an opportunity here for Larnaca, and it's lashed into the roof of the net. Bajacic with a bolt from the blue after a calamitous mistake by JD Convo. It's a really good finish from the Bosnian, left-footed into the top right corner. The Larnaca fans on the far side go wild as the Crystal Palace players stand in shock on this historic night at Selhurst Park. It is Crystal Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Darren, let's have a convo about the error.
I mean, he's had it a couple of times, hasn't he? Today he's got confused, mixed up. This time he goes to play a square ball. It's a nightmare pass from JD Convo. Square passes is really difficult. You can't be doing them without knowing what's around you. Rodon just nicks it, plays a lovely pass in front of Bajicic. And got about the finish, by the way, Crookie. It's an unbelievable strike with his left foot into the top corner, the roof of the net. Dean Henderson stood no chance. And everyone's gone silent.
It's a 4th goal of the season for Riyad Bajicic. He was one of 4 different goal scorers in that opening night 4-0 trouncing of RZ. And Crystal Palace, the bookmakers' favourites to win this Conference League, are going to have to come from behind here at Selhurst Park this evening. Nobody would have predicted that. Good play by Sarr though. Palace looking for immediate reply. Sarr into the penalty area, goes down. In fairness, he gets straight back up. The Palace fans were asking for a penalty. Sarr wasn't really. And Larnaca get the ball clear. Only as far as Will Hughes though. Slides it forward into Sarr inside the penalty area. Munoz with the overlapping run. Headed behind. It's going to be a Palace corner. Good response from Oliver Glasner's men.
Yeah, it's been a good start to this half, to be honest. The goal did come against the run of play in this half. I can't stop talking about the finish. The finish from Bajicic was absolutely fantastic.
He hit it so early, he gave Dean Henderson no chance.
Right into the roof of the net, no chance whatsoever. But it has to be said, it's been a good start to this second half by Palace.
Will Hughes with the corner, more direct this time, headed behind for another Crystal Palace corner. You did say Larnaca would get on the score sheet tonight.
Yeah, I also said it would be a comfortable evening, and it's certainly not been that.
Will Hughes ready to deliver again from this near side. Left-footed, swung towards the far post. Good header away by Bajicic, the goal scorer, and then knocked back in there by Daniel Munoz, but the referee had already blown for a free kick for Larnaca, and they will be in no hurry at all to take it. 1-0 to the Cypriot side here on Talksport 2.
Yeah, just as Daniel Munoz, as the ball come out, hits it on the volley, seemed to hit one of the Larnaca players, and there was appeals for a penalty. When the whistle went, I thought he was giving it. Looking back on it, it wasn't a penalty, it wasn't a handball, and it was a foul in the 6-yard box.
Long ball forward by the goalkeeper Alamarovic. Larnaca content just to keep the ball inside their own half, and then they go a bit more direct. Picked up by Ganali inside Palace territory, given away. Lerma into Mateta. Mateta can't make it stick on this occasion, and Ganali fizzes the pass forward to the goal scorer Bajicic. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Crystal Palace 0, AEK Larnaca 1.
Yeah, there's frustration around Selhurst Park from the supporters, from the players, and from Oliver Glasner, and I won't be surprised to see some substitutions being made relatively soon.
That looked like a foul from Will Hughes, and the referee, having initially waited to see if there was an advantage to be played, pulls it back for the trip from behind on Gustavo, the Portuguese under-21 international. He was part of the Larnaca side that played West Ham in the Europa League back in 2023, was sent off on that occasion. Free kick chipped out to Ganelli on this left-hand side, cleared by Daniel Munoz. The name of Adam Walton being sung by the Crystal Palace supporters. They're making it pretty clear what change they'd like to see. With their team trailing 1-0, they've got a throw-in to defend here down by the left corner flag. Porto, meanwhile, over on Talksport, have just had a goal ruled out by VAR for offside. 1-0 Forest lead there. Palace a goal behind here at Selhurst Park. And the life has been sucked out of these Crystal Palace fans by that Larnaca goal. Ball into the penalty area again, and it almost came for Ivanovic at the near post. Eventually it was cleared upfield by Crystal Palace. Sabarit, the left back, playing it down the line, looking for Ivanovic again. I think Convo tried to just usher it behind for a goal kick. It was never really going to go that far. Convo wins it back and plays it across the penalty area to Tyreek Mitchell, who sprints forward over on the far side. Palace have scored 2 or more in 4 of the last 5 matches. They're going to need to do that again tonight to win this game. That's a good ball forward to Munoz. Darren Ambrose waving the imaginary offside flag, and the offside flag does indeed go up. Free kick for Larnaca, and Palace's night of frustration continues.
Yeah, and I can see Oliver Glasner getting really frustrated. It's lazy from Daniel Munoz. He's better than that. He's got the energy to get up and down. He doesn't need to drift offside. He was a good 3 or 4 yards offside, as it looks to the Palace are going to be making a substitution relatively soon. They need something.
Oliver Glasner with a frowning expression on his face, arms folded. The man who always demands more talked about Palace needing to play with intensity and desire tonight in his press conference yesterday. We haven't really seen enough of that intensity, I don't think. And that's why they find themselves a goal behind. Larnaca's only previous experience of taking on English opposition was that 2-legged defeat against West Ham in the round of 16 back in 2023. As Ganelli wins the ball back from Ismail Assar, looks to play it forward to Ivanovic. It's cleared by Convo and out for a throw-in.
And they are taking all the time in the world for throw-ins, for goal kicks, for free kicks.
Well, they should. They did that in the first half at 0-0.
Yeah, so they should, though. So they should. Away from home against Crystal Palace, the favourites to win. No one expected them to be a goal up.
Well, this would be one of the most famous results in the history of Cypriot football.
There's a long way to go yet. A long way to go.
But the atmosphere has been killed inside Selhurst Park as well by that rocket shot from Bajacic, seizing on the error from JD Convo. Maybe JD Convo has not played much football this season, not quite as sharp as he would want to be. It was an inexplicable mistake, really, giving the ball away inside his own half. Quick thinking by Marcus Roden, the Sweden international, to find Bajacic, and he absolutely levered it beyond Henderson into the top corner. 1-0 Larnaca lead here on Talksport 2. So at the moment it's just Forest leading of all the British contingent who are in action on this Thursday night. 1-0 up at home to Porto in Sean Dyche's first game in charge. Cross from Mitchell into the area. Munoz climbs above his man. Might get a shot away here, Munoz. Oh, he was hesitant, and that enabled Larnaca to get it clear.
He was a bit hesitant in the first half, wasn't he? And he's done that again. You just need to sometimes put your foot through it and see if you can work the goalkeeper. But he didn't once again.
Much needed equaliser for Celtic at home to Sturm Graz. Liam Scowls has scored. As the first change is made here, and it is JD Convo, the man whose mistake led to that Larnaca goal, who goes off, and Eddie Nketiah comes on. So that's a very positive change from Oliver Glasner with still half an hour to play. Looks like they're going to go to a flat back 4 with Munoz now the right back, Lacroix and Gay in the centre of defence, and Tyreek Mitchell on the left. So almost a 4-4-2 now from Palace.
Yeah, I was just to say exactly the same thing, exactly what he's done. It's a positive change.
Here is Munoz into Will Hughes, midway inside Larnaca territory. Gay out to Hughes again on this right hand side, tries to roll it forward, looking for Ismail Assar. Assar tussling with Sabarit with no choice in the end but to help the ball over the byline for another Palace corner. Just had a text from a Brighton supporting pal of mine, rather Crawley. He says, I thought Larnaca was an airport. They'll be enjoying this, the Brighton Hove Albion fans, but still
watching from home, by the way.
Still plenty of time for Crystal Palace to get back level. Don't rise to it, Darren, you're better than that. Here's Will Hughes. About to play in the corner, left-footed from the right-hand side, right in front of the goalkeeper who punches it clear, and he's been brought down by Eddie Nketiah. Free kick given the way of Larnaca, much to the despondency of those Palace fans behind the goal. Again, he's in no hurry at all, is he, Alan Morovic, to get back to his feet?
No, he's not. He did take a bit of a clattering. I think Eddie Nketiah, Mark Gay, both running full pelt at him, and he will take as long as he wants now. The official will add it on at the end, but he did take a bit of a clattering. I'm waiting to see the replays of it. He's having a little word with Mark Gahey, the referee.
Boos and wolf whistles from the Palace supporters. You are listening to Crystal Palace against AEK Larnaca in the Conference League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. Celtic have got a second goal in the space of 3 minutes. They lead now 2-1 at home to Sturm Graz in the Europa League. Palace needing something similar here. Alan Morovic getting dog's abuse from the Palace fans behind the goal as he takes an eternity over this free kick before launching it long into the Larnaca half. Here's Eddie Nketiah looking to make the impact off the bench. Wearing gloves, Nketiah. It's not that cold, is it? Nketiah into Mark Gay on the edge of the centre circle. Palace fans continuing to voice their displeasure with UEFA having been demoted from the Europa League into this Conference League. Immediately installed as favourites, but they trail here by a goal to nil. Not quite what Oliver Glasner wanted to mark their first home game in a major European competition. Cross from Mitchell is blocked and out for a throw over on that far touchline. Glasner continuing to cajole and encourage his players down below us.
It's just the end product. They get into good areas, don't they? But just the end product, they're getting it all wrong at the moment. See if Lerma can get another long throw into the box.
The only game Palace have lost in their last 21 matches was a late defeat against Everton away from home. They've played much better size than Larnaca during that run, with no disrespect to the visitors from Cyprus. Tyrick Mitchell with a deep cross towards the far post, but again straight into the arms of Alan Morovic, the keeper.
I think they've got to do something different in terms of the long throws, Crookie. He hasn't got a long throw, Lerma. I was thinking it was the conditions, the wind, this side, that side, left and right. It's not reaching the 6-yard box, never mind the centre of the goal.
Here come Larnaca down their left-hand side again. Cross in from Ganali. Cleared away. They do look dangerous coming forward. That front duo of Ivanovic and Bajicic have been a handful all night.
Yeah, they certainly have. We said when Ivanovic come on, he's a big lump, isn't he? So is Bajicic. Two big, strong centre forwards. They've just won himself, his team, a corner kick. Bajicic as well, with his work rate.
20 minutes gone in the second half. Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Those travelling fans are having a field day over on the far side as their team prepare to take this corner into the penalty area. Headed away at the near post by Jean-Philippe Mateta. Tell you what, they'll be hoping that sports bar in London Bridge is going to stay open for a late night party. The Larnaca supporters, I might join them actually. And this would be beyond their wildest dreams, Darren Ambrose, if they can see it through.
As you said, it'll probably be one of the biggest wins in history against the favourites to win the whole thing. And like I said, there's a long way to go. Crystal Palace notoriously score late as well, quite more often than not. See it again at the weekend, didn't we? Almost even later one Mateta to get the winner against Bournemouth. They'll still keep going till the final whistle.
Adam Wharton is stripped and ready to come on, just getting his final instructions from a member of Oliver Glasner's backroom team. Meanwhile, Glasner gesticulating furiously for his team to get the ball forward more quickly. Mitchell responding on that far side. 1-0 Larnaca as we move into the final quarter of the game. Ball swung in towards Munoz, but they defended it well again, the yellow and green jerseys. Out to the left-hand side. Here comes their goal scorer, Riyad Bajacic. He's got Ivanovic to his left, Ivanovic into the penalty area. Palace should have enough defenders back there as it's chipped into the centre of the box, and indeed Tyreek Mitchell able to acrobatically volley the ball away. That's a foul by Eddie Nketiah, and again the Larnaca player is going to make the absolute most of it.
It's really, really frustrating for Crystal Palace. Crookie, their game plan from Larnaca has been great all evening. They've got the lead and now they can defend the lead in any means necessary. Seeing a bit of dark arts in terms of the delay in the restart. I mean, this player's been on the floor for near on a minute now. There's no physio come out the dugout. They know he's okay.
Yes, Marcus Roden, who of course played the pass that set up Bajacic for the goal, who is down and being helped back to his feet. You are listening to Crystal Palace against AEK Larnaca in the Conference League, live on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it, book now at enterprise.co.uk. Free kick for Larnaca. It's going to be a double Crystal Palace change. Daichi Kamada also about to come on. The ball is swept into the area. Not dealt with at the first time of asking, and Will Hughes is going to have to eventually squirm the ball away. When we mentioned that the superior fitness that Palace should have, they're not showing any signs of slowing down, Larnaca.
No, certainly not.
At the moment it's them who look the more likely to get the second goal. Ball into the penalty area but away from Bajacic and collected by Dean Henderson.
I think they just need to freshen it up now, Crystal Palace, don't they? They're obviously going to, as you said, Kamada, Adam Walton. I expected to see these two probably a little bit earlier. They need to come on and make a change.
Starting the game against Bournemouth at the weekend, two of the three players that Oliver Glasner decided to leave out. In fact, all three of the players who've come in, you would expect will be taken off now if it's Lerma and Hughes as a straight replacement combo, having already departed. Cross into the penalty area, looking for Mateta. Headed clear by the excellent Milicevic. He's really marshalled that back line for Larnaca. Well, they are seeing lots of the ball here, Palace. Headed away again by Milicevic at the near post. Hughes into Nketiah. And then, it's a disappointing ball in by Will Hughes. Totally overhit. And Ganali will take his time before clearing upfield.
Yeah, probably one of the only things Will Hughes has done wrong this evening. Overhit that cross. But they're trying to get it wide to Tyreek Mitchell, Jeremy Pina, Daniel Munoz, get the deliveries in, but the defenders are just eating them up.
Munoz plays it down the line to Ismail Assar. Palace looking for the equaliser here on Talksport 2, trailing by 1-0 against the Minnows of Larnaca. Again, they've got so many bodies back behind the ball, Larnaca, making it very difficult for Palace to find a way through. Nketiah dropping into midfield. He's going to look to play it out to the left-hand side here. Back into Eddie Nketiah. He's away from his man. Chipped up the cross, looking for Mateta. Still bouncing around inside the penalty area. Almost hit Tyreek Mitchell more than anything else. Then it's cleared upfield, and there's going to be a grapple here between Maxence Lacroix and Bajacic, who wanted a free kick. Lacroix was just too strong for the Larnaca goal scorer, and Palace have it back with Mark Guéhi.
Yeah, too strong, too quick. Lacroix, Bajacic thought he got in behind, just bullied him out the way.
Will Hughes sliding the ball forward to Nketiah. Decent ball into the penalty area, cut back by Mateta, hits the goalkeeper, still in there. Nketiah had a swing at it. Will Hughes goes down under a challenge. The Palace fans want a penalty. Nothing doing according to the referee. Well, I'm not sure that Zlatan Alimirovic knew too much about the save there from Mateta, but it could be absolutely crucial come the final whistle.
I was going to say that again. Will Hughes with a lovely through ball to Eddie Nketiah. It's a great cutback to Mateta. What a save, by the way. I think we've got to give him a bit of credit there. The save from Alimirovic. What a save. He's kept his team in it again.
Here comes the double Palace change. Kamada is on for Jefferson Lerma. It's Adam Wharton for Jeremy Pino. Interesting to see what that means from a formational perspective. because they did have Jeremy Pino rather hugging that far touchline over on the left-hand side. Sturm Graz down to 10 men now in that game at Parkhead. Celtic leading by 2-1. Still 1-0 Forest over on Talksport against Porto in Sean Dyche's first game at the helm. Here's Eddie Nketiah. Lovely little back heel from Mateta. Again, it's well defended and behind for a corner. I think they've had 8 corners now, Crystal Palace, over the course of the evening.
Yeah, they're pushing. Eddie Nketiah's impressed since coming on, running in behind. Some good runs, good delivery, and his pace is causing problems. They need to make it count, though.
Well, he scored a couple of big goals off the bench already this season, Eddie Nketiah, away from home in Kyiv to seal that 2-0 victory in the first game in this competition for Palace. And that late winner against Liverpool here as well. At the same end, they're now attacking. Ball swung in from the corner, punched away by the goalkeeper. Munoz keeps it alive. Maybe a chance for Nketiah, who has a swing at it. And the goalkeeper, unconventionally, two-handed, punches the ball clear. Palace 0, Larnaca 1 in the Conference League. But they are pushing and probing here for an equaliser, Oliver Glasner's men. And the fans behind the goal responding. Mark Gay out to Mitchell on the left-hand side. Kamada has made a dart ahead of him. Mitchell with a cross into the penalty area looking for Sarr. Watched all the way by Alan Mirovic, and he takes it cleanly from the sky.
Yeah, they're pushing. They are pushing, but again, it's crosses coming in from deep. Tarek Mitchell, Daniel Munoz, and the defenders, Milicevic, Roberge, they're dealing with them. They're big centre halves. They're comfortable with a battle.
Adam Wharton into Ismaila Sarr. Got 3 players up into port. Sarri went for Nketiah in the centre. Well defended again by Larnaca, and Ganali looking to clear it away. And it's just hooked out of play by Gustavo. Anywhere will do right now for Larnaca. They are only about 17 minutes plus stoppage time away from a historic victory here at Selhurst Park. Adam Wharton midway inside the Larnaca half. Good ball looking for Kamada. Just scoops away from him and again into the arms of Alan Mirovic. And as every minute passes by, as every opportunity goes begging, you start to feel, Darren Ambrose, it might not be Crystal Palace's night.
Yeah, you certainly do. And then desperation comes into play when you get 5-10 minutes towards the end. With desperate measures, playing long balls upfield. Adam Wharton almost combined with the other substitute, Daichi Kamada. Couple of feet away from the perfect delivery.
16 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. You're listening to Talksport 2 live from Selhurst Park, where Palace are trailing Larnaca by 1-0. Sarr, right corner of the penalty area. Showed too much of it to Sabarit, and then drags him to the floor and gives away a free kick. And suddenly there are dejected looks on the face of these Palace players. Yes. They know it's been a really underwhelming performance.
Yeah, it's confusion. I think the confusion. Ismaila Sarr, just attack your fullback. He decides to come out, try to play it back to Adam Wharton, gets it wrong, and then brings his man down. Sabarit, good defending. Just running out of ideas at the moment. 15 minutes to go.
And the goalkeeper still, apart from that one save from Mateta, I'm still convinced he didn't know about. He's not been tested, has he? Not anywhere near enough. And I'm sure Oliver Glasner, who's usually very honest in his appraisal, will admit that. If, or indeed even if it doesn't remain 1-0 to the Cypriot side. Here's Daniel Munoz. Forward he comes down the Palace right. Wharton, the England international, into Will Hughes on the edge of the centre circle, looking for Kamada, but didn't find him. And here's Ivanovic, the opportunity for Larnaca to spring a counter-attack maybe. He's got Ganali up in support. Ivanovic, I think he's just trying to buy a free kick here. And in the end it's him who fouls Daniel Munoz. He did look tired there, Georgi Ivanovic.
Yeah, I think he was waiting for Ganali to make the forward run with him. Which held up. He knows he hasn't got the beating of Lacroix for pace. But Ganali looked tired as well.
Wharton with a cross into the penalty area. Hits Ganali. Only clear as far as Sarr. Daniel Munoz with a chance. Brilliant block tackle by Sabarit on the edge of the 6-yard box as Daniel Munoz was looking for yet another Palace goal. Lacroix too strong for Ivanovic. They can't get out here. And that's a poor ball by Sarr for Munoz, but he's still got it back as he off Ganali. No, Ganali just about stands his ground, and it's behind for a goal kick.
He's got so much energy, Daniel Munoz. It does look like he's getting a little bit tired. It's poor choice of pass again from Ismaila Sarr. Just deliver it in the box. There's 3 players: Mateta, Kamada and Ketia in the box. Plays the through ball to a tired-looking Daniel Munoz.
Well, Palace's next game in this Conference League is at home to AZ Alkmaar. First week of November. They've still got to go to Strasbourg, Shelbourne, which I know is a trip a lot of Palace fans are looking forward to. So plenty of points to be won, but certainly they'll see this as a big missed opportunity to cement themselves at the top end of the league phase. If they can't at least find an equaliser in the final quarter of an hour plus added on time.
Udiakes, the coach of Larnaca, will be absolutely buzzing, delighted with the way his players have responded.
Might have another opportunity here with Bajicic on the edge of the penalty area, trying to work his way into a shooting position. In the end, it's chipped forward and Ivanovic can't keep it in place, so Palace will have a goal kick, but they've only got 12.5 minutes plus added time to get back into this game.
Well drilled, like Larnaca, well drilled as a team, well drilled as a unit. I said, can they sustain the work rate? And they certainly have. Working extremely hard. And they're almost there.
You do sense Palace will get at least one more big opportunity in the minutes that remain. Ball over the head of Ismaila Sarr though. Ganali will clear the left back. Larnaca are going to make a couple of changes just to get some fresh legs involved here. Karol Angielski, the Pole, is one of those ready for action. Jamie Suarez another. Here's Munoz, low cross to the right hand side, chance for Nketiah, blocked again brilliantly on the edge of the 6-yard box. I think it was Roden this time, got his body in the way of the effort from Eddie Nketiah.
I don't think he needed a touch. Crookie, Daniel Munoz down the right hand side, lovely delivery, 6-7 yards out, takes a touch. Don't think he needs to. Then it gets blocked.
Forest have got a second goal over on Talksport. Another penalty, Igor Jesus this time converting. Sean Dyche's men lead Porto by 2-0. Will Hughes the ball into the area and a header wide from Nketiah. Flung himself at it. Didn't get the firmest of contact and in the end can only divert the ball wide.
They are pushing and pushing and pushing. This time again, good delivery. Will Hughes is a good run as well. Eddie Nketiah gets in front of his man. All good forwards do that. Good connection at the header, you'd say. Maybe too good. That was a couple of yards wide.
Well, the goal scorer, Riyad Bajic, is one of those players to make way. As Larnaca make a double substitution. And Gielski, the Pole, as I mentioned, one of those coming on. Didn't actually see who the second player was that made way for Larnaca there, Darren. Jamie Suarez also on.
Yeah, it was Pons.
Pere Pons. So, like for like changes by the experienced Imanol Idiakes with 10 minutes to go. Crystal Palace 0, AEK Larnaca 1. Again, a very subdued atmosphere around Selhurst Park on what was supposed to be another momentous night for Crystal Palace. Adam Wharton here, midway inside the Larnaca half, closed down quickly, so finds Gay to his left. One lone Palace fan.
That was me.
Almost trying to get the crowd going by himself there.
He's right in front of us as well.
He's going to be hoarse in the morning. As Kamada slips, he looks to get a cross in. Eddie Nketiah does well to win it back initially for Palace, and then it's not a great clearance. Straight back into his own penalty area, and Nketiah, 4 yards out, went for the half volley kick Finnair behind for a goal kick. Wow.
Oh, my goodness, what a miss. He's done really well since coming on as well. Eddie Nketiah wins possession. There's a great delivery from the right back of Larnaca. Finds its way to Eddie Nketiah, as you said, 3 yards out. Just gets it all wrong. Doesn't even connect with the ball. Big chance.
It was a swing and a miss, wasn't it, from Eddie Nketiah? Oliver Glasner turns to his backroom team, almost in exasperation at what he's seeing. Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Time running out for the home side. That's a foul though on Tyreek Mitchell. It's going to be a free kick for Palace that they are going to want to take quickly. Munoz down the right with those socks rolled down to the ankles, the Colombian. Again, everybody in green and yellow camped inside their own half. You'd almost feel sorry for Larnaca from a neutral perspective if they were to concede now. They've worked so hard to get into this winning position. Wharton though, good ball in, Mateta has a swing at it, and it goes past the far post. I'm not entirely sure that Mateta actually connected.
I thought that was nestling in the far corner directly from Adam Wharton. We're lucky to have a screen in front of us for the replay. Is millimetres from Mateta in the box, and then it's even closer from creeping in to the far post.
I wonder if he might just have got studs on it actually.
Looked like the goalkeeper,
Mateta,
by the way, got fingertips to that as well.
We've played 38 minutes in the second half. You're listening to Talksport 2. It's Crystal Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Palace 7 minutes away from what you'd have to say is a pretty embarrassing result for them.
It'll be disappointing. It will be disappointing if they don't get something out of this game. It'll be disappointing if they don't get a win out of this game. What were they, 16-1 before the game was kicked off, Larnaca?
Well, it was a mismatch on paper. You have to credit the Cypriot Cup holders for the job they've come and done here. When you look at some of the results around Europe this week and how comfortable the Premier League teams have been, this is a real coupon buster. Daniel Munoz still raiding down this right-hand side, though. I still feel Palace are going to get one last big chance.
Yeah, I agree. They always score late. I told you this. Maybe more than one big chance.
Even a draw would have been a disappointing result at the start of the play. They take it now. Wharton, room to turn on the edge of the penalty area, out to the left-hand side, but his pass is too heavy for Tyreek Mitchell and well defended by Sabarit. He's gone behind for a goal kick for Larnaca, and he stayed down. Again, just wasting a few more seconds. We've only got 5.5 minutes of normal time to play.
He's wound up the fans there as well. He come on 2 yards on the pitch, went to sit down, and then got up and waved at him laughing.
He's got a massive grin on his face. Sabarit, the fullback. 1-0 Larnaca lead here. The goalkeeper, Alimirovic, plays the goal kick long upfield. No doubt Crystal Palace fans will want to react to what they've seen tonight. 0371722 3344 is the number if you want to get in touch with the sports bar. I don't think you'll get too much sympathy from Messrs O'Hara and Cundy, to be honest. In fact, if it stays this way, I wouldn't be surprised if Jason gets the clown costume out again at the start of that show.
Yeah, more than likely they're arguing here. Larnaca players. Jean-Philippe Mateta's been booked for an elbow on the defender. Will Hughes getting involved, saying you're wasting time, get up. He did get caught really by his elbow though.
Have they been a bit naive at times tonight, Palace? Have they fallen into some of the traps that have been set?
Yeah, perhaps. I just think they're shell-shocked. I really do. I didn't think that they feel that Larnaca could have come here and produced this performance. First 20 minutes, I thought they worked extremely hard, and even I was saying I don't think they can sustain this, and they have. They've improved as well.
They've had 15 shots, Crystal Palace. but only one on target. That was the effort from Mateta that was brilliantly saved by Alimirovic. It's just not enough, is it, one shot on target in a game like this?
No, it's not enough. It's not enough at home. It's just one of those games that's not gone their way. They'll be desperate for a big chance to fall their way.
They're about to bring on two more subs, Crystal Palace, Christianchus Uche and Roman Esse, both of whom actually played for the under-21s yesterday, just to get some minutes in their legs. Oliver Glasner was pointing out they're just not doing enough intensive training at the moment. That's why he played those two youngsters in that under-21 game. Ismail Assar is the first Palace player whose number is up here. And Will Hughes as well. So, again, attacking move by Oliver Glasner, but I guess needs must at this late stage in proceedings. Esse, who's underwhelmed, I think it's fair to say, since his £14.5 million move from Millwall. Uche signed on loan from Getafe during the summer transfer window, makes his European debut. Wharton with the ball, swung in from the free kick. Good defending again by Milicevic. He's been an absolute rock for Larnaca at the heart of their defensive unit tonight. Dean Henderson launches the ball forward, right-footed. Lerma has been guilty of an elbow there and is shown a yellow card. By no means the first time he's had his name taken by a referee over the course of his career, but again, it's a bit silly, really, a bit petulant, because it gives Sabarit the chance just to stay down and waste time.
Yeah, and they certainly are staying down. And I think the manager, Idiakes, is going to be delighted with the team. I mean, this whole second half, since they've gone a goal up, they've took every chance they got to time waste. Let those minutes tick down. Be interested to see what the officials put up as added time, because there should be quite a lot.
Well, Sabarit has stayed down and is receiving treatment. My hunch is that it'll be absolutely okay to carry on. Boos and wolf whistles again from the Crystal Palace supporters. And it will be really intriguing to see how many added minutes we get. As you pointed out, Darren, maybe Oliver Glasner would have wanted more than just the 5 we got in the first half.
Yeah.
Time running out for Crystal Palace, though. Alimirovic with the ball forward. Again, there's a Larnaca player down holding his face under a challenge from Munoz. No free kick given this time. And then Eddie Nketiah manhandled to the ground by Suarez. The referee has shown him a yellow card. And the boos are because the referee is just stopping play restarting, because Angielski had stayed down and he's gesticulating that he was caught by the elbow of Daniel Munoz.
Yeah, I watched it. It was an elbow. Just gave him a little nudge, Munoz, as the ball came up. Down he went, holding his face. The scarves are out in the Larnaca end. They think they've done enough already.
30 seconds of normal time to play. Crystal Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Mark Gay well forward from the back for Palace. His cross flicks off a green and yellow jersey, and Nketiah is trying to chase it into the penalty area, but he can't get there, and it's collected by Alimirovic. Maybe they're not going to get that one last big chance, Crystal Palace, as the assistant behind a post points for 5 added minutes. And again, the Palace fans not happy. They feel there should be more.
Listen to the boos. They've just announced 5 minutes. There's definitely more than that. There was more than that in the first half as well. There's definitely more than that in this half.
They just know you've got a train to catch. That's what it is. Here's Munoz. Down the line to Esse. Esse back to Maxence Lacroix, the only outfield player inside the Palace half at this moment in time. Wharton forward to Munoz. If he keeps it in play, he's got a chance to cross here. Oh, the goalkeeper pats it away. Uche was throwing himself at it at the near post. He got just enough on it, Alimirovic. Cross back in towards Mateta. Clearance hits Mateta. The Frenchman can't bring the ball down though. Wharton nods it back into the penalty area for Crystal Palace, who still trail 1-0. Helped on towards Nketiah. And then Tyreek Mitchell with a looping cross again, straight into the arms of Alimirovic.
It's now or never. It's now or never. Probably 3.5, 4 minutes to go. A draw will be good enough now for Crystal Palace.
Long punt upfield by the goalkeeper Alimirovic. We've already played the first of the 5 added minutes. We've already played a minute and a half, in fact, of the added on time. Crystal Palace a goal behind to the Minnows of Larnaca. Everybody in blue and red jerseys is camped on the edge of the Larnaca penalty area. But at the minute, the Cypriot side are holding firm. Wharton plays it out to the left-hand side in Tyreek Mitchell. Plenty to aim at if he can get his cross away. Checks back on his right foot. Then it's swung in towards Uche. Swings a leg at it and it's wide. There were 4 players in there. Darren Ambrose, none of them could make a clean connection.
How was that missed, Cookie? Delivery from Gay, great delivery. Mateta, Kamada, Nketiah, all missing it. Uche.
Any of them. I think it was actually Roman Esse who got closest to getting on the end of it.
Went past
the
everyone.
Young substitute. It just is not going to be Crystal Palace's night here on Talksport 2. They've got 2 minutes of added time to somehow find an equaliser against this well-drilled, disciplined, frustrating Larnaca side. Oliver Glasner's got a face like thunder, arms folded. Looks like he's about to tear the paint off the walls in that Palace dressing room. This was supposed to be a momentous night for Crystal Palace. Their first ever home game in a major European competition. Looks like it's going to end in an embarrassing defeat. Still they come forward though. The team in blue and red, the ball has just fizzed up to Nketiah. He did really well to control that because it was literally smashed into his midriff. Uche, left corner of the penalty area. Again, they're all waiting in the centre. It comes to Adam Wharton on the edge of the box. Little dink from Wharton, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Kamada goes down looking for a penalty. He's not going to get it.
I think that's out of hope. Kamada, the support, appealing behind the goal. Adam Wharton delivers it in.
It's never a pen in a million years, is it? I'm not even sure that Sabarit touches him. It's finished at Parkhead. Celtic have beaten 10-man Sturm Graz by 2-1. Brendan Rodgers needed that result. Palace need a goal here in the last of the 5 added minutes. Ball played forward to Nketiah. There's a Larnaca player down inside the penalty area, but play continues. Nketiah with a cross. Goalkeeper collapses on top of the ball, and that may well be that. With only a few seconds of stoppage time remaining. And again, Darren Ambrose, they're just going to run down the clock here. It's that man Miramon who's gone down feigning injury this time.
Yeah, nothing happened as well. Eddie Nketiah won it fairly from him. Chose the wrong option though. Nketiah had a few players to aim for. He didn't. He tried to reverse it. But nothing. It was either or, a cross or a shot.
And all eyes now on the Polish referee. Palace's big night under the lights at Selhurst Park is seconds away from a defeat that nobody would have seen coming. Will they get one last chance to get the ball forward? Adam Wharton dispossessed. The ball launched up into the arms of Dean Henderson. But there is no more time. 1 or 2 boos from the Crystal Palace supporters. This year of firsts has brought about an agonising and humiliating defeat in their first home game in a major European competition. There are stunned looks on the faces of the Crystal Palace players as those travelling fans from Cyprus celebrate. Over on the far side, the goal 7 minutes after half-time from the Bosnian Riyad Bajacic after an error from JD Convo has given Larnaca one of the most famous victories in the history of Cypriot football, and has brought the FA Cup holders crashing down to earth with an almighty thud as it finishes Crystal Palace 0, AEK Larnaca 1, Darren Ambrose.
Stunned, Crookie, absolutely stunned, shocked. I thought they'd score, Larnaca. They give up some chances, Crystal Palace. I thought they'd score. I also thought it would be comfortable evening for Crystal Palace. I thought it would be 3-4-1 maybe. It didn't really turn up. I have to call it as I see it. They didn't really turn up. They were pushing at the end. It's not really good enough today, and they'll know it. They've got to pick themselves back up. Still be favourites for me. Still got some winnable games coming up. They've got to pick themselves up. They've got a huge game the weekend against Arsenal, and they have to improve on that performance. Disappointing.
Will Oliver Glasner take it on the chin? Will he be quite honest about his team's shortcomings, you think?
In public, yes, of course he will. He have to be. In the change room, I'm not sure he's going to be too happy. He was the frustrated figure, wasn't he, in his technical area, berating some of the misplaced passes, the sloppiness, the laziness. But he takes on the chin, he's always honest, and he'll certainly get his team going for the next match.
Well, this might be difficult for a former Crystal Palace midfielder, but it's time now to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Over to you, Darren Ambrose.
Well, it has to be one of the Larnaca players. As much as I'd love to pick a Crystal Palace player, Daniel Munoz obviously tirelessly running down there. I could easily pick out the goal scorer, but I'm not going to. Milicevic for me at the back, heart of the centre half. Every delivery that come into the box, he headed clear. He was a monster in defence, and for me, he was the sole reason that Crystal Palace didn't score. Milicevic for me.
That was our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
The Here For It hero on Talksport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
As the Larnaca players sit down in celebration in front of their travelling supporters, the story from elsewhere in Europe tonight for the British side's defeat for Aston Villa. You heard that live on Talksport 2 as they went down 2-1 away from home against Go-Ahead Eagles. Rangers in the first game for Danny Roll in the dugout. They lost 3-0 away from home against Brann in the Europa League. Better news for Celtic, who came from a goal down to beat 10-man Sturm Graz by 2-1. And Nottingham Forest over on TalkSport gave Sean Dyche victory in his first game in charge. They beat Porto by 2-0. But the big story is here at Selhurst Park, where Crystal Palace have suffered their first ever European defeat, and it is a humiliating one against the minnows of AEK Larnaca. It finishes here, Crystal Palace 0, Larnaca 1. Don't forget the sports bar getting underway very shortly on TalkSport. 0371722 3344 if you want to have your say, frustrated Palace fans. Coming up next here on TalkSport 2, we have live PGA Tour golf from the first round of the Bank of Utah Championship.